I grew up in an entrepreneurial family, with my pop starting and running the concrete business for the last nearly 30 years. My sister and her husband started a meal prep company, shout out Champion Meals, and even one of my older brothers making and selling chain mail shirts, like the stab-proof medieval armor stuff. Weird, I know. But all my life I knew I didn't want to work a normal job for someone who I had to ask if I could go home or if I could leave early because there was some event I wanted to catch. But after going through school and being surrounded by friends and family saying that I needed to get a job to pay for things, I did. I got my first paying job at 15 at the local cinema, scooping popcorn, ripping tickets, cleaning theaters, typical theater stuff. So I worked hard at it for a brief period of time until I realized that if I just did the bare minimum, I wouldn't get fired and I would still get paid the exact same amount. So for the next 3 years during high school, I worked at the cinema, made tons of memories, ate my body weight in popcorn at least a couple times. But the job was flexible. I could take time off for sports, musicals I was in, or even just for the occasional date. Now, once high school was coming to an end, I knew the time at the theater was too. I applied for a number of universities and colleges, and I even got a couple of offers to go play basketball. But because of late acceptance letters, I never ended up going. So I decided, well, maybe it's a blessing in disguise, and I'll take this extra year to save up some money so I could pay my way through. Now, in July of 2019, I saw a job posting for a front desk agent at a hotel I'd never even seen. It was in a neighboring town, and it wasn't even built yet, but they're hiring already. Sounds easy enough. But then came COVID, everyone's favorite C word. Well, aside from cunt. A small group of the management and a higher level staff had begun discussing trading and some other ways to make more money as our hours had been reduced to ensure that the hotel could remain afloat. Little did we know, our head of sales and marketing was actually an ex-day trader who had years of experience under his belt and had agreed to train us all for free. So at the same time, I'd started Bandwagon Apparel with my childhood best friend. He designed, I did everything else. That was our agreement. For the next number of months, I ran Bandwagon. I was being trained on how to day trade. I was helping to staff a new hotel, help build the new hotel, and continue all my daily duties at the other hotel at the same time. My now hotel manager, who had been the one training us all, told me about this amazing thing called funded accounts, where you don't have to use any of your own money to trade and how you could obtain one just by completing a short test. So, as any overly confident early 20s guy does, I took it on while still running Bandwagon, and in 1 week, I passed the funded test. I got a fully funded binary options trading account. I could finally start placing trades with real money. I will make a caveat. I could have added my own money previously. I just didn't want to. So, fast forward a few more months where the norm was staff not showing up, staff quitting, 60-hour weeks, doing everyone's job, running social media accounts, and even a 50-hour weekend in there. I had enough. Not to mention all the other stuff. Running socials for Bandwagon, coming up with new pieces to drop, sourcing, shipping, models, editing, deliveries, planning, all this. And I'm getting paid $15 an hour at my day job trying to keep everything afloat. And getting paid $15 an hour was just not worth it, especially when I can make a few $100s in a minute trading. So I put in my notice with my sights set on full-time trading. When I began trading full-time, I was obsessed. 20-hour days, researching markets, backtesting strategies, and countless tests on prop accounts. Now, this obsession yielded results I couldn't believe. I grew my $10,000 funded account to $1.19 million in just 5 months with a win rate on my trades of 97%. Plus, Bandwagon was thriving. I built a system that generated over $20,000 from Instagram organic content alone. I was satisfied with my decision to leave my job. And I was so excited to be able to golf when I wanted, to spend time with my friends and my family whenever I wanted, and to not have to worry about asking permission to take an afternoon off. Now, that's when it all came crashing down. I was asked by a family member if they could try trading. They'd seen me do it a ton and they wanted to try their hand at it. They thought it'd be interesting. So I agreed. And there was no risk to me, right? If they used my prop account, No real money's attached. They can lose it all, and we can fund it again in half a second just by clicking one button, and the fake money's back in there. All I had to do was click 2 buttons, and all my hard work was safe. But I didn't. I lost it all in the time it took me to take a piss and come back. When I re-entered the room where my trading setup was, all I could do was stare blankly at the new balance at the top right of my screen, reading QT Real, $636.18. That was it. All those hours, all that research, the sleepless nights, quitting my job where my whole career had been planned out in front of me, gone. All because of a stupid mistake. Around the same time, my business partner decided that he couldn't handle Bandwagon anymore, and he left. He took half the profits with him. So the next few weeks felt much like a bad dream. Disassociation, heavy drinking, self-loathing. They became the norm. But what now? Now we try something else. What though? Cologne maybe? Cologne it is. My obsession shifted to cologne. With notes, how they interact with each other, the dry down times, bottling, perfumeries, atomizers, all of it. Weeks were spent formulating the perfect first launch for the brand. A corporate targeted line called 99th Floor that was meant to be a powerful, demanding scent that would be my brand's break into the market. But that dream was shattered too. Spending nearly all of my remaining dollars on a sample from the best perfumery I could afford, I impatiently waited for my brainchild I'd so meticulously crafted over weeks and weeks to arrive. But it never did. So I waited longer, and it didn't arrive. And I was informed my package had been lost in shipping, and that I was not entitled to any sort of refund or compensation as I had released liability from the perfumery, and if I wanted another sample, I'd have to pay another $25,000 American to get it. Well, shit. Now what? Now the echoes of my family and friends saying that I was stupid to go this route rang loudly in my ears. I didn't want to give up, but I just needed some time to regroup. So I did what I was told, and I got a job. A job across the street at a marketing agency. Marketing was something that I'd gotten quite a bit of experience in whilst I was working at the hotels and with Bandwagon, so I figured, how hard can it be, right? I took the job as a CSM, managing clients doing a combined 60 million plus per year, and I quickly dipped my toes into the paid ad side of things as I wanted to learn more about how I could use paid media to scale businesses faster, which eventually led me back into the organic social media side, where I took over all social media marketing for the agency for quite some time. Now, during my time at the agency, I learned a lot about how agencies operate, as was one of my goals with taking the job, but after just over 3 years, I gave my notice, and on March 7th, 2025, I was done. And just like that, I was 24 years old and now fully self-employed again. This time, it's a little different though. I've got a history of success with my agency already. We've generated over $32 million in revenue for businesses, staff who are bought into the vision, and amazing clients who really want to see their businesses grow. Now, this definitely isn't the happily ever after, but this is a cautionary tale about how stupid mistakes can cost you more than you ever wanted to lose, but without those tears in your eyes, you may never have been able to stumble upon the right path. Gentlemen, ladies, business owners, if you've gotten kicked in the face, if you've had to eat glass, if you've had to go through all of this stuff, just keep going. I am a living testament to the fact that shit sucks. And when you're an idiot, it sucks more. But if you do not stop, it cannot suck forever. Now, please keep going. If you failed the thing, who cares? Who fucking cares? If it didn't kill you, you're good. If you're flat broke, fine. I lost more money in one summer than I had made my entire life before that combined. I lost more money in one summer than multiple families make in a single year in my country. Just keep going. You don't know where that next fork in the road is leading you. So, let me be a cautionary tale. I've fucked up a lot of times. I've lost a lot, but I've built a lot and I've gained a lot. I've been so blessed to be able to bounce back time and time again. So, use me as a cautionary tale. Go out there, go after what you want, And if you stumble, if you get hit by a metaphorical bus, get up, dust yourself off, and keep moving. It can't be over if you don't stop. That's it. Thank you guys for listening to my story. Just a small part of my professional life here. I've left out a bunch of stuff, but if you guys want more details, leave a comment, let me know. And if you guys are looking to work with an agency who is focused on service and results, go ahead and click the first link in my bio, fill out the form, and let's get to work. That's it for now. Thank you guys for listening to my story. Toodaloo.